Hello, I'm Lorie Fridell. Through implicit associations, we categorize people, and then we link those groups of people to characteristics that we've come to associate with their groups. Call them characteristics, call them stereotypes. So I want to share with you some of the characteristics of implicit associations. So for instance, implicit associations are automatic. These associations we have in our head between groups and characteristics, they just pop into our head without any effort. Even though they're popping into our head, they may do so outside of our conscious awareness. We're not aware of those thoughts popping into our head. Maybe we see someone, we associate them with a characteristic, we don't know this is happening. And even though they're outside of our conscious awareness, these implicit associations can still impact our perceptions, for instance, the perceptions of a person, as well as our behavior towards that person. Another characteristic of implicit associations, they may be incompatible with our conscious attitudes. As an example, before I learned about the science, I thought, because of my progressive attitudes, I must be bias-free. Well, it turns out I was wrong. Implicit biases may not match our conscious attitudes. I can reject bias, stereotypes, and prejudice at the conscious level, and I still have implicit associations. Another characteristic of implicit associations, they are more likely to impact us when we're facing ambiguous information or stimuli. Let me give an example. Ambiguous people, and that's just fancy for people we don't know. So I said that we look at people, we categorize them, and we link them to the characteristics or stereotypes associated with their group. You don't do that with people you've known for 5 years. We do this with people we don't know, ambiguous people. Another example of the ambiguity concept is ambiguous information or situation. So for instance, for the street cop, it's seeing furtive movement. That's ambiguous. And that's a situation that would be likely to invoke implicit associations. We might interpret that furtive movement based on implicit associations. Another characteristic of implicit associations, they may be based in part on fact. Let me give you an academic example. Academics might have an implicit association between students' socioeconomic status and their educational capabilities. Well, that could be based in part on fact. Because of unequal educational opportunities, economic groups do come to us differentially prepared. But importantly, even though our implicit associations may be based in part on fact, that does not justify treating the individual as if they fit the group stereotype. We can recognize that our biases are based in part on fact, but we err when we treat the individual as if they fit the stereotype.